So I'm going to go over the answers to part one of our second distance learning packet for applied math. This is the only part that I would like the seniors to complete because it is important for you as you enter the workforce. To begin with, you can use your notes. It should be page 37 of your notes. The first question, what is a W-2 form? That's a form that you'll get from your employer that shows how much money has already been withheld from your paycheck. You should get it by January 31st in the year that follows your working year. So if you got one this year, that means you worked in 2019, and your 2019 taxes are due this year. In order to have that be done correctly, you have to fill out your W-4 form. So that's question number 2. Many of you are going to be getting jobs very soon, or you've already gotten a job. One of the first things your human resources person at your job is going to want you to do is fill out a W-4 form. And it's a form that asks you if you have any dependents and if you have any exemptions. If you're a dependent of someone else, like you're still living at home, you'll put a 0 for exemptions. Dependents or kids, for many of you, that's a 0, so that they'll be actually considering that information when they go to calculate how much is withheld from your paycheck for both the state and the feds. You want to get the right number because you don't want them to withhold too much or too little. Usually taxes are due April 15th, but this year because of COVID, it isn't due till July 15th. So if you still haven't done your taxes for 2019, you still have time. FICA taxes are Federal Insurance something Act Commission. It's basically Medicare and Social Security. Those taxes, they're withheld from your paycheck, but you'll get that money back. You'll get it back after you turn 65, because that's when you'll qualify for Medicare and Social Security. So while that money is withheld, it's basically they're forcing you to save for when you're old. An example of a tax credit, if you have children, they count as a credit. They're about $2,000 as credit. Definitely not worth having one just for the tax credit. In California, if you rent and you have a low income and some other qualifications, you may qualify for a credit. Credits are dollar for dollar. So if you owe less tax than the credit, that's how you get a tax refund. You get some money back. There's also something called an earned income credit, and that's a fixed amount that changes from year to year. But that is, again, dollar for dollar. And so it counts against your income, and so you have less money left to be taxed on. It's different than a deduction. You can deduct a percentage of, say, your charitable contributions. Those are deductions. There's other things you can deduct. Landlords can deduct a lot of things from their income. Landlords can deduct the cost of repairs. So if you rent and your house needs a repair, make the landlord do the repair because they can deduct that entire cost from their income. They can deduct mortgage interest, insurance, travel, all sorts of things. And with someone living in their house, they say that the value of the house goes down or depreciates, and the house is an asset. So they make a lot of money. So being a landlord is a way you can make money when you grow up. For the calculations, you should know that in Selma, sales tax is 8.25%. But food and drug prescriptions are not taxed. So the first thing you want to do is convert that 8.25% into a decimal. So that'd be 0.0825. You multiply that times the cost of something, and that tells you the tax. And then you add that tax to the original price of the item to get your total. So you do that both for Noelle buying sneakers and Jonathan buying a basketball. Once again, you multiply the tax rate times the object cost to get the tax, add the tax back onto the price to get the total. Be careful on number 9. Louis buys 3 chess sets, so you have to do 3 times that to get the total price before you do the same process. And also be careful on number 10. Lucille buys milk and cheese. Those are foods that are not taxed. So for that one, there's no tax calculation necessary. You just make use of the fact that she bought 5 gallons at $3.25 each and 2 blocks of cheese at $3.75 each. And you get those prices and add together her total milk and her total cheese to get her total. And that's how you do part 1. For part 2, the chess, there's some videos on our Google Classroom. Same for the symmetry, part 3, and part 4 for fractals. There's lots of cool things that you can watch about the fractals.